when you are an entrepreneur, you have to take risks. I had another job, I had school, and I was like, this is gonna be my first risk I'm taking. I'm quitting my job. I just decided, you know what? Like, if I fail, I fail. I just like opened my phone one day and the views started racking, the commission were starting to raise. What TikTok Shop is, you are in a sales job. Learn how to do it, join a community. Everything that these viral creators are doing, it's purposeful. Just analyzing, studying, and then go and make it your own version. Am I convinced to buy this product? And if I am, then I want to promote it.
Highest GMV generated in a month?
125.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to TikTok Shop Affiliate Academy, a podcast that uncovers the story and strategy from the top 1% of TikTok Shop affiliates. I am your host, Ivan. We have a very special guest today, Isabella. How you doing, Isabella?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for joining. Pre-call, you're saying that you're in the Chicago area, right? Or
Yes.
okay, cool.
Currently live in Chicago, from San Diego. Got my undergrad there, and then now just finished getting my MBA here in Chicago. Gonna probably stay a couple more years, then maybe head back.
I love it. Okay, yeah. So we have a common tie here. I'm from San Diego as well, and you went to San Diego State. I went to UCSD, so that's kind of cool. And you were telling me as well. So you went to school for something totally different, and
Mhm.
you found out it wasn't for yourself. Tell me a little bit about that. You spent all those years doing something, and then kind of stumbled upon TikTok and kind of changed your directions, or entrepreneurship and changed your directions. And yeah, tell me a little bit about that story.
So I went for my undergrad for finance, and then with my MBA, I did an MBA with an emphasis in finance. And then I was kind of going down the CFP route, which is like certified financial planner. And I was like, I don't know, like if this is for me. I was doing a little work in it as well. And then through my MBA program, I took an entrepreneurial class, and I was like, okay, wait, maybe I kind of like entrepreneurship. And then I also kind of did a little marketing and got a marketing job. Really liked that. So I kind of steered away from finance and then into something that I was actually enjoying.
I love it. Okay, so what was that first instance of entrepreneurship that you did? Kind of you saw a hint of it, or
Um,
what did it?
so through my MBA class, we actually worked one-on-one with a brand here in Chicago, and we basically just helped them. It was kind of like a
Okay.
startup. So I got to see
Yeah.
from the beginning, not until end, but like the beginning works of how things work, how the marketing works, how products work, how so many
Yeah.
things. And I was like, I kind of like that
Mm,
side better than
yeah.
finance.
I love it. Okay, so you're a grad student in Chicago. How did you get across TikTok? How did you get into TikTok Shop?
So my brother, he is in college. He's like a junior in college right now, and he was doing copywriting just like on his own, basically like freelance, and he joined a group, and he was like, "Hey, like I'm doing pretty well right now. You should do this, or you should look into doing something like this." And so I kind of like followed down his path
Uh-huh.
and and just like did a bunch of research. I'm like, I'm not sure if copywriting is for me, but I just like looked and looked and looked and found TikTok Shop as like another kind of, it's not like freelance, but an alternative. And I just decided to put all my effort into that, learn how to do it, joined a community, and it all went up from there.
I love it. Okay, so how long ago was this when you first stumbled upon, when you
Um,
went to transition from copywriting to TikTok Shop?
I would probably say last July, June or July, but I did
Okay.
not take this like super seriously or full time until December. So like July to
Oh,
December,
okay.
I was kind of just like, because I had another job, I had school, and then this was kind of like a side hustle. So like I would come home from school and my job, and it would be like 9 or 10 p.m. and I would
Yeah.
be getting like a couple posts out or doing whatever I had to do. And I like didn't have the time to take it seriously. I think once in December, once I like decided when I was done with my MBA, I had decided to quit my last job and take it full time. That's when I feel like I started to pop off, the numbers
Yeah.
started coming in. And I was able to just like give all my attention to it and just really grow with it.
Okay, cool. I love that. A lot of things I want to break down in there, but first, did you already have a TikTok Shop account and or did you have to grow it to get I'm sorry, did you already have a TikTok account where it had enough followers to be a TikTok Shop affiliate, or kind of how did that start?
I grew mine. I am very into health and wellness, so I would just post health and wellness things and eventually got in with 1,000. This was at the time when you could have 1,000 and they
Yeah.
would allow you in.
Okay, cool. And then you mentioned you're in a community, and so I definitely would. You learned a lot from there
Mhm.
in the pre-call. So definitely, you said it was, which one was it?
Creators Corner.
Creators Corner. Cool. And then what did you like about that community? And
It's great because so basically they have just a bunch of managers who have experience with TikTok Shop and they tell you from like start to finish, like they kind of hold your hand in the beginning. It's definitely confusing if you're just like jumping into TikTok Shop, like what products are you supposed to promote? What's a hook? What's
right,
good copy? What's good? Like, what is anything? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more than I feel like it looks from the outside. Like, people are like, oh, you just like dance and add like a song. Like, that's actually not it. Like,
opposite.
you have to really like you have to write scripts, like, it's like a whole thing, I feel like, so they help you with that. They help just make your content better. There's like they help you connect with brands. They help do so many things. Like, if you need anything, you can go to them.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand the power of community. When I was
Mhm,
starting as an Amazon seller, I had a small community myself and people who I can, I can ask the smallest questions to, because sometimes those smallest questions keep you up at night. You don't know the answer, but it's like
mhm,
second nature to someone else, right? And they can answer in a second, right? So
for sure.
community is definitely something I wanted to establish here at Affiliate Academy HQ. So yeah, we have a free community, affiliateacademyhq.com, kind of, that resource that you're talking about, asking questions back and forth, connections to brands, higher commission rates, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love that. Okay, so you started making TikTok. So you were on TikTok Shop kind of mid last year, and then it didn't start to get serious, you said, until December. What did those first videos look like? I know, like, this is actually probably every, like, majority of people out there listening, right? They're busy with their day to day. They know they want to do TikTok Shop. They know they want to make videos, but it's hard to find time. You have all these samples to make videos for. You're juggling X, Y, and Z. So talk me back to that moment of like, you still kept on doing it. Like, what made you keep on doing it when you were so busy?
I think just the drive of knowing that I needed to find something else outside of finance, and just I did not wanna do finance. I think that's
Yeah.
really what drove me. I really don't like it, I guess. And just also being like, "You know what? Like, if I lose or, like, if I fail, I gave all I have." So, like,
Okay.
I gave in, I did everything I could, I worked so hard, and if I fail, I fail, and then you move on to the next. It's like, it's worse to fail when you didn't really put much effort in,
Right.
but the positive is I didn't fail, and it all worked
Yeah.
out.
Very huge success right now, and it's only growing, the tip of the
Mhm,
iceberg. So yeah, I've noticed that a lot. Common thread with the people I've interviewed, it's like they kind of feel their back to the wall, right? They don't want they're not unhappy at their job, or they have a new kid and they're kind of staying
mhm,
up later, and all that stuff. So like, back to the wall is definitely a
mhm,
place that I see people succeed, right? They
for sure.
put all their reservations aside and they just make the video, because who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah,
Sounds like yours. Okay, so you went from kind of posting here and there, right, at your nights and weekends, and kind of maybe not caring as much per se, or like, you weren't 100% committed. And then you said December, it all turned around for you. Talk me
mhm.
through that, moment of like, what made you, I know you said you quit your job and you kind of freed up time, but like, what else in that moment where you're just like, okay, I'm going all in? And what did that look like when you went all in?
So, it was, like, at the time when I needed to decide. So I was working at my last job, and I was like, "Hmm, do I wanna stay here? Like, is this the right place for me?" And I was like, "Should I?" Like, my dream and my passion is to be an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
and when you are an entrepreneur, you have to take risks, and that first, like, I was thinking, like, this could be my first risk,
Hmm.
and so I was, like, talking to my friends, my parents, like, everyone. I was like, "What should I do?" And I just decided, you know what? Like, if I fail, I fail. And I was like, this is gonna be my first risk I'm taking. I'm quitting my job,
Hmm.
going all in on TikTok and social media and all that. Um, so that was like I quit my job, I got done with school. It was like a big transitional moment
Yeah.
in December. And then I just feel like I don't mean to sound like I don't know how to explain, but like the energy shifted.
Yeah.
And because the energy shifted, I feel like that's the reason that I was able to be so successful during that time.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a mental commitment at that
Mhm,
point. You're
mhm,
just kind of all in, right? You bought
mhm.
all in. It's not just half on the weekends or nights and making a
Exactly.
video here and there. It's like a
Yeah.
you kind of similarly, but for me, when I'm an entrepreneur as well, right? Amazon businesses and my own businesses, but I always refer to it as like shower time. Like whatever you're thinking during your when you're showering
Yeah, that's
is
so
like what you're
funny.
super passionate about.
Yes.
And so it's like I found that like whatever I'm thinking about during shower, whether my family or whatever, maybe like that's my focus of the moment of the day,
Mhm.
right? And so maybe that's kind of what consumed you, and you kind of went down that road.
Yes.
Okay,
I think that's a good way of putting it, like, it consumed me, and I was like, "Well, I need to go after it," you know?
love it, love it,
Mhm,
love it. Okay, yeah. So if you're feeling that fire, make those videos. So
mhm.
okay, you made that mental commitment, and you were getting, I assume, a little bit of success, a little bit of sales here. What was that kind of like light bulb moment for TikTok Shop that or videos that you were made that you're like, oh crap, this is a big deal. Like I could, this is a lot of sales. This is a lot of views. Talk me to that like video that popped off for you.
It was a mouth tape video, and I had made it during, like, months ago when, I
Okay.
had just started, did not know what I was doing, and it just started gaining traction, like, I think it was, like, 4 months later. I would have
Okay.
never guessed that that exact video would be it's my highest viewed video to this day, still make money off of it,
Yeah.
and I it was crazy. I just, like, opened my phone one day, and the views started racking, the commissions were starting to raise, and then it was, like, around Christmas time, um, I would just, like, check my phone. I was, like, hanging out with my friends, and I was like, "What happened?" Like, it was, like, 2 hours, and I was like, "What is going on right now?" And I don't know, it was a crazy moment. I don't know how to explain, but I also was, like, so like, having so much fun with my friends. It was, like, Christmas time, like, there was so much
Yeah.
going on that I don't think I was able to 100%, like, understand what was going on,
Yeah.
just
Take it all in.
yeah, take it all in, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was very crazy, and, like, to this day, I don't it's very crazy how that specific video, like, did so well.
Yeah, a couple things I want to take away there. One, it's got 22 million plus views on
Mhm,
it, right? And
mhm,
huge, of course. And then another thing is you said you made it 4 months earlier before it started to pop off, right?
mhm.
So everyone, I hear this time and time again. It seems kind of like unbelievable, but like videos you made from months ago can make huge success,
For
aka 22 million views
mhm,
success. So keep your videos on, post those drafts,
mhm,
and kind of you'll never know. We'll review the video in a little bit, but like I said earlier, 22 million views, 13-second video. Now I don't even think you say anything.
yeah,
So yeah, kind of just post it.
mhm,
So cool. So you saw that video pop off. You saw those, sales come in, and you were kind of hooked at that point, right?
mhm, mhm. I
Okay.
was like, "Okay, wait, actually, this dream is becoming reality. I can continue to do it," you know?
Okay. Okay. So you saw that success. Was there ever a time where you like had success and you kept on making videos, and you were kind of always chasing that success, and maybe a downtime in your journey, and how you got around it?
100%, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people should know is that you're gonna
Yeah.
have really high highs and really low lows, and, it's very hard at first, especially when you start off and you start off on such a high high, and
Hmm.
then somehow it's dipping, dipping, dipping. I it took me probably a month to just be like, "How do I get through this?" Or not get through this, but how do I work with this? And
Hmm.
I feel like I've listened to some of your other podcasts, and they say it perfectly, like, those high highs keep you motivated and wanna continue to go, those low lows do the exact same thing. They
Okay.
continue like, they not force you, but want you to, like, work harder and
Yeah.
keep going. Um,
Motivate.
so you just keep going, and also it's the name of the game, like, beyond TikToks, like, that's the name of sales, like, what TikTok Shop is, you are in a sales job. And that's how it is. The economy goes like this, your sales are gonna go like this. They fluctuate a lot, and, when you sign up to do this, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, you're in the highs and highs, and you went through some tough moments in the beginning, right? You were making those videos
Mhm.
nights and weekends, and I assume it wasn't as good as it is, and you just kept
Yeah,
on, going and made a mental commitment, and that's what
mhm,
changed things.
for sure.
Um, and then yeah, like you said, consistency, like making those videos and still posting those videos even at the low moments or the low times.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so when you post those videos, like what's a posting cadence that you like to do? Like how many videos per day is your goal?
That's a really good question, and I think it depends on how many brands I'm with. Currently, I can't even count how many I'm posting per day because I took on too many brands, and maybe that's another
Yeah.
thing for
Yeah.
other affiliates to know is, like, burnout is real. You can take on too many, be very selective. Don't just say yes because it looks great, the product looks great, like, you need to really be able to manage your time well and know if you have the time for it. So currently, I probably am posting, like, 7 videos a day, but that's not normal, that's just what's going on this
Yeah.
month. Um, I post 1 to 2 per brand, and, I can't give an exact answer on that because it's
Yeah.
just so
Oh, good.
different, literally every single day and week.
Yeah, yeah, and then you say you partner with brands, and these are flat fee
Mhm,
relationships that you have with these brands. Like, so I'll
mhm,
post, 10 videos or 30 videos a month for X number of dollars, and that's
mhm.
kind of why you kind of have like a backlog of brands that you need to make videos for and all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, what would you say your split is between like your flat fee brands and quantity of videos for those versus like new brands on TikTok Shop that you haven't had or like new products that you kind of take on at the moment? What would you say the split is between the
Um,
majority of the brands that you have relationships with already with a flat fee or kind of
yes,
50/50?
every single brand is a flat fee. I'm trying to think. I honestly don't take on brands that I don't have
Okay.
a flat fee for unless I love them more than
Yeah.
anything, and I've been using them since, like, I was in high school, and it's very
Okay.
rare for me to not have a flat fee, I'm
Yeah.
trying to think.
And I like that also because you get familiar with the product. You
Mhm.
kind of like we talked earlier, get like kind of engrossed and think about the product all the time and you see other videos and it becomes like your daily, understanding,
Yes,
right?
yeah, and when they do that, they're sending you a brief, they're sending you, like, all this information, so it honestly helps you a little better than when you're requesting samples. You don't really know, I mean, you can go do research for sure, but I feel like you get more insight, more, like, information about the brand, and it honestly helps your content better when you're
Mhm.
working one-on-one with them.
I love it. Okay. So what about okay, so you let's let's talk about like your kind of normal style of video making, right? Like what would you describe your normal style of video making as? Like what's kind of a hook that you like to go with recently or a story or strategy of the form of the video? Like what's a typical video look like for you?
So this also changes very often and also
Yeah.
changes depending on the product, but, like, for example, I can, like, give you 2 ends of, the scope, but I
Yep.
would say, like, on this end, like, mouth tape, a hook would be like, I've recently been learning that people really like me trying to explain or me trying to explain. People love that. It gets really great views, it gets great conversions. And then just slap a trending sound onto that. And then lighting is very key in that. Just because like mouth tape is a sleeping item.
Mhm.
And so you want to have like low lighting, pajamas on, or just like something like it looks like you're going to bed.
Mhm.
And so, like, that's on that end, and then on this end, like, say, for example, another brand I'm working for right now is Goalie. It's a daytime, bright lighting. A great hook is anything to do with, like, health and wellness. Something I've been doing recently is, like, POV, I grew up with a granola mom, POV, grew up with an almond mom, like, something like that. That's really capturing people's attentions right now. Then I go on and just, like, say some facts about, like, eating manuka honey is almost as strong as eating or having antibiotics, and then I go and get the people intrigued and hooked in the video, and if you go look at some of the comments, they're like, "I was hooked at every single second because I'm so intrigued at, like, these facts I had never heard of," and people go to
Mhm.
TikTok to be not only to be entertained, but also to be educated. So then I go on, tell those facts, and then I'll plug the product in at the end and be like, "Another tip that I learned is apple cider vinegar, and this is what it did and what it helped me, and blah, blah, blah." And then something I've been recently doing is I don't even show the product at all, like, while I'm talking, and then at the
Mhm.
very end of the video, then I'll show, like, a little snippet of it of, like, me holding it, like, not even with my face in it, and I feel like that gives off a more of, like, a less salesy sense, and there are
Yeah.
some videos where I show it, like, I've been going back and forth just testing this out, but I feel like it's been working a little better just because it's like, "Oh, well, she's not really showing it, like, it doesn't really seem like she's really selling it until like the
Mhm.
end. I see the product. I'm like, okay, wait, I actually kind of want that product.
Yeah.
So there's like different realms of ways you can go about making
Yeah.
videos, but I do like all
The
sorts of.
whole and like something I took in there as well is you test different things. Like what happens if
Mhm,
I show it at the end for a second? What happens if I
mhm,
hold it the whole time? And so I think that's super important. And then you kind of follow the lead, right? If something's performing well, like you said, you know, the granola mom, the almond mom angle, plus showing it at the very last second is more education, less salesy,
mhm,
equals like more trust, right? And so
mhm.
someone views it, they're gonna kind of go. And then for those who listening, and I wasn't aware, what's a granola mom and an almond mom, real quick?
So a granola mom is kind of, or a granola mom slash almond mom are the moms that, not to sound toxic either, but just really prioritize eating healthy, always have like tips and tricks, like things that like instead of like what I just mentioned, instead of taking antibiotics, taking Manuka honey, it's as
Mm,
potent as it. What are other things that I've said? Apple
yeah.
cider vinegar is like instead of taking Accutane, take apple cider vinegar.
Mm,
All about like making your body feel the best in a holistic wellness way,
yeah.
rather than like the way that I feel like we are grown up to like think that, oh, like drinking Gatorade is good for you and gives you, you know,
Energy or
or yeah, or like
Mhm.
drinking Red Bull is good for you and giving you energy. And it's not Red Bull, it's green tea or something, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, I totally kind of see that. And my wife's a doctor, so she says the same typical things like
Mhm.
I just kind of like what are some alternatives, right? And
Exactly.
and you said that actually is cool because like it sparks a lot of engagement in your comments,
Mhm.
right? And so
Mhm.
talk to me about that. Like what are the type of things you're seeing in those comments? And
A
maybe is that
lot
is
of
that why it's a little more popular?
a lot of people are just interested in general to hear, just because like every single day we are faced with what I just said, like energy drinks are good for you, and then
Right.
hearing them, or like hearing someone else be like, wait, actually energy drinks are not good for you, and
Mm,
you can have apple cider vinegar instead of an energy drink. They're like, I've never heard of this, I
yeah.
need to hear
Okay.
more. So
So like
it's
contrary opinions to what you see in like the everyday marketing.
yeah, mhm, exactly.
Yeah, and then so they're like, "Wait a minute, that's interesting, makes
Yeah,
sense, let me figure out more," right? And so
exactly.
your that plus your storytelling kind of moves
Mhm,
along them, moves
mhm,
them along in the journey, and that's
mhm.
why you're kinda seeing the success you have, so cool, yeah, I love that, cool. Alright, so we're gonna review 2 videos of yours. First is that 22 million view mouth tape video. Again, it's a short video, and I'll share my screen and let it play.
A secret the world just me and you. Everybody saying that you're no good for me. Your friends all swear that you changed, but I still keep it old.
So for those watching on or listening on a podcast, you probably just heard some music, but it's essentially a 15, 14-second video with some kind of like a day-to-day progress of Isabella and using her mouth tape, right? So 7 days, 10 days, and you can see her jawline's getting better. There's a little caption at the end. I didn't really get to read that. But yeah, it has 22 million views and
Yeah.
kind of huge success. Do you know how much GMV it's generated?
From that,
Yeah, or you can give a rough estimate.
let's say over 100. I
Yeah,
I
so
can't give, like, an exact number. I have
yeah.
because when that blew up, so many other videos started blowing up too, and then I
Oh, so it's
started.
hard to, like, discern which one is which.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was a quick video, and like you said, 4 months later, kind of started to see it pop, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, anything you wanna kinda comment on that video and, like, what you liked about it, why you think it did so well?
Honestly, truthfully, I made that so long ago when I had no idea what I was doing, so,
Yeah.
like, I do get texts, like, from my friends, and they're like, and, like, it's, like, people from high school being like, "Oh my gosh, like, is this real? Like, did you actually do this? Like, I'm so convinced, like, I wanna buy." So I feel like something, or, like, why it works so well is because people are convinced that it, it does give you a jawline, and it's
Yeah.
true, that they see an actual transformation. They put themselves into that first person, like, "Wait, I look like that first person, and I don't wanna look like that first person. I wanna look like that last person."
Yeah.
And so they're like, "Okay, well, now I'm gonna buy it because I am that first and I want to be that last." Like, they put themselves into it, and I feel like that's a huge factor as to
Yeah.
why that works. Other than that, I had no idea what I was doing back then.
Yeah.
So very crazy.
Yeah. So have you tried to recreate that video?
Yeah, and it's worked, but definitely
Yeah.
not as well as
Understand.
that one.
I love it. Okay. And my question is around the mouth tape. Does it really work? I'm always so skeptical about mouth tape because it seems
Yeah.
so out there, if you will. But yeah.
Yes, no, I agree. I am a very firm believer in nasal breathing versus mouth breathing. So many benefits to it, and I
Yeah.
really do believe in that. I do believe it gives you better jawline because think about it logically. Like if you're sleeping with your mouth, like you're gonna
Mhm.
get like to me, it's just like puffy inflammation. That also a gua sha can help as well, but I probably shouldn't be
Mhm.
promoting a gua sha. But it's like the same thing when you're gua shaing, you're getting rid of that puffy, gross inflammation there. But also the science behind mouth tape when you're closing your mouth when you're sleeping is you're engaging certain muscles here, and that I guess helps sculpt
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I am a very firm believer in it helps you get better sleep
Yeah.
and that nasal breathing is better than mouth breathing in certain scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah. And certain people have different reactions
Yes,
and all that stuff. So,
exactly.
I
Not
mean,
for everyone for sure.
yeah, you sold me, so I'm just gonna find your affiliate link and go buy some as well. So cool, thanks for that. And then so up next, that was not a lot of, I guess, strategy or
Mhm,
layout into that, and it was when you were new, so you didn't really know what you were doing. But
mhm,
we're gonna review another video here, where you kind of a little bit more of your strategy and more
mhm.
depth to the video and kind of maybe what you've been doing recently. So
Yeah,
this one is I think goalie, right? A goalie video,
yeah.
correct?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I'll share the screen. Oh, it's a little bit long as well. So I'm going to fast forward through some of it and through the middle part, and then we can get through that. So here we go.
All parents had me do growing up. Sugar was really looked down upon. So if we had a sweet treat craving, we would put a little pickle juice or salt under our tongue and the cravings would go away. Granola parents' toxic chemicals were a big fear, and this included toothpaste. So my parents would actually make their own toothpaste out of peppermint essential oil, baking soda, and some coconut oil. And to this day, I still get compliments about how white my teeth are because I actually still do this to this. I used to deal with really bad bloating, especially while I was on my period. So apple cider vinegar was a big staple in our house, not only for bloating, but for cravings, for insulin levels, for acne, mental clarity, literally so many things it helps with. I had really bad cystic acne as a kid, and I owe apple cider vinegar to the fact that it got rid of my acne. You're probably thinking this is just another girl on TikTok trying to sell you shit. In fact, it's actually the opposite. If I don't take my gummies, I literally feel so bloated, like I'm 9 months pregnant, and it's the baby sub the food. Truthfully, I just feel like so many people can relate to the fact that they are always bloated from literally everything from literally just drinking water. I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a simple solution that has helped me. I've had IBS since I was literally in elementary school. I've tried every probiotic, every single possible thing on the market, and truthfully, apple cider vinegar is the only thing that has ever helped me. I really don't care where you get it. It's at literally every store possible. I will say though, if you get it on TikTok Shop, it is so much cheaper. That's where I get it. And also, I have a little code too that makes it even more cheaper. But you can go pay double at the store. Do whatever you want, girl. But I'm just trying to help you with your wellness journey. Okay, bye. Here's some weird.
Cool. For those listening, a little bit of background. You heard what she was saying, but you might hear a little bit of metal sound, and that's peeling a cucumber.
Yeah.
Peeling a cucumber all the way to the core and breaking it like 5 or 6 times. So providing that visual hook and visual story and visual comments. I'm sure I'm sorry, and comments that you got from that.
Mhm.
And then yeah, what else about that? And just kind of like in your kitchen, it's an upward angle, kind of you just
Yeah.
talking to the camera. And yeah, I'll let you take it away from here as far as like what you think did so well and what do you like about it.
I'm looking back on it and I'm like that this is one of the first ones that I did and I'm like this needs some work, but for sure the angle, I get comments about that all the time and that angle was not purposeful. That was just, me propping my camera up and it is what it is.
Yeah.
The peeling is purposeful. That is just because like while I'm talking, you need a visual like something to look at. If I'm just
Draw.
talking, like you're bored. I'm scrolling. You know what I mean? Versus like oh, why is she peeling that cucumber so much and then the cucumber breaking? Like, that's just like excessive. I don't know like why I kept that in, but
Yeah.
whatever.
It worked.
Another hook is obviously the first text where it was like granola, weird things my granola parents did.
Mhm.
And it's like, wait, like just like you asked, you're like, what's a granola parent? And some people I get comments like that, like, what is that? I don't know what that is, or like, what's a granola bar parent? Like, you know. And then another visual hook on like so many visual hooks, but the text being big and with the red, it's like my parents and like really in
Mhm.
your face, like right in the middle. That's another visual hook. And then the body is made up of just facts. Like the very first fact I go in with is controversial. Sugar was not allowed or whatever I said. And
Mm,
very controversial. Like people being like, "Oh my god, like you weren't allowed to have sugar is crazy." And there's so many comments about that.
yeah.
And then which also I was allowed to have sugar. I don't want anyone to
You were or were not?
I was. I don't want people to think that I grew up like crazy.
No, it's not too crazy for me because my sister and her family, they don't allow sugar in their house. So whenever
Really?
their kids come to our house, they always have like they load up on those sugar, which is fine because they like to like treat their kids like when
Yeah,
they're here. But like in
that's
their
so
house, it's not.
that's really
Um,
funny.
yeah, and then you
Um,
also said like the cucumbers like so the cucumber, have you seen those videos? It might not be TikTok shop related, but like it's videos of like a video game playing, and it's just like
yeah,
random visual elements with someone's talking and like a
yeah,
story. So like same thing, it's like
mhm,
a visual element that keeps them engaged, right? Like not
totally.
for the whole time, but like in
Yeah.
moments, and yeah, keeps them on board.
Yeah, I was gonna say that exact same thing earlier. And then another thing with that is I just like did controversial topics, and then I tried not to put the actual product in until the very end. And I
Mhm.
was looking, it's like the very first caption is like use code whatever. So
Yeah,
like, maybe that's actually very controversial because like I'm not trying to be salesy, but then the caption is saying that. So
yeah,
I'm like now looking at this being like this definitely needs some work. But it made great sales and I just feel like people were hooked and then they were willing to stay until the end to see the actual product.
yeah.
So there's a lot that went into this and the copy for this, like all those videos takes a very long time to just think of ideas of like what could be controversial, what can capture someone's attention.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of effort put into that.
Oh, that's my next question. You seem very natural, or like even in our conversation, the way you describe things, it's in depth. It's comes from a point of like knowledge and trust, right? It's like when you describe all these things, like, oh crap, like I am missing out, or that is
Mhm,
how I should be doing it. Like, so how do you and you have to learn about the product, right? And
mhm.
what are the benefits and downfalls. So like I guess how, how do you prepare? How does one that's not prepared, that doesn't know about the product, get to where you're at, where you're sound confident and kind of can? It seems like you're whipping up these statements here, like you know them, right? So like, how do you get from zero to like where you're at now?
I would say like studying your For You page. Just scroll and scroll and scroll until
Yeah.
you like I don't go on TikTok for fun anymore. When I'm going on it, I am analyzing even just like this lighting back here or like the way
Mhm,
that this chair is, but like this is none of this is purposeful. But everything that these viral creators are doing, it's purposeful. And just
mhm.
analyzing one small thing like their nail being off, something, you know what I mean? Just analyzing, studying, and then going and looking up that product, see what's doing good, and go and make it your own version. And
Mhm.
so just like studying and studying and
Yeah.
analyzing.
Do you take notes, like written notes or computer
Yeah.
notes?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I have a ton of notes on my notes app, like on my phone, on my
yeah.
computer, and if I were to show you right now, it's scroll on forever and ever and ever, and it's just
Okay.
ideas, like, I'll wake or, like, I'll just be walking, I pull up my notes app, and I just, like, think of, like, POV something, write it down,
Yeah.
because you can take any idea when you go through times where, like, you're just unmotivated, you don't
Yeah.
have any more creative ideas, and so that notes app really helps a lot.
I love it. I'm sure a lot of the affiliates I interview do this, but this is the first time
Mhm.
mentioned on the podcast of taking your notes app, logging your thoughts, logging. Do you copy and paste URLs and like
Yeah.
videos that you say? Okay, so that and then comment. How do you organize it? Is it per product? Is it kind of one big
Mhm.
old doc? Okay,
Yeah,
so
no, I organize it per product, so it'll be
yeah,
like Goalie 1, and then the next one will be Nello another, and then NAD the next, like, it's very separate.
got it. Okay. I noticed the brands you work with are relatively huge brands, right? Is that purposeful? Do you kind of span like is
Um,
that your category of like big brands that are already having sales? Like what are
well,
some characteristics of brands that you like to work with?
that's actually something I learned recently is just I kinda steer away from brands that have, like, 3 sales,
Yeah.
versus, like, the brands that have more sales, they have a backing, they have a team,
Mhm.
they if like you need help with TikTok as a whole, like they have a TikTok rep, and people know about it more.
Yeah.
And so it's not easier to sell by any means, but the more people know about it, the more likely you are to make a sale, I would
Yeah.
say. So it's not purposeful that I'm on the biggest brands, but I think it helps.
Yeah. No, and you mentioned it, you touched on it, but on the other side of the spectrum, it's a big brand getting a lot of sales. You have a lot of affiliates, so now it's
Mhm.
harder to stick out, right? So how do you
Mhm.
find that your videos stick out? Is it kind of your unique almond mom angle? I mean, you definitely have like a sense of knowledge base that's different than others. Like what's differentiating? You know, you have a sea of people in the goalie pool. How do you differentiate yourself in that sea of people?
That's a really great question. For right now, it's probably sticking with that Almond Mom series. But then
Yeah.
you know how TikTok works, like after a while, people get bored. People are not
Yep.
interested in hearing that anymore. So I'm gonna have to pivot to something else. And
Mhm.
that's again like going back to analyzing and researching TikTok. Like you find angles that you can find like someone's hook and then take that hook and turn it into your own and then
Yeah.
make it into a series. Like there's so much that you
Yeah.
can do.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, that was great. Thank you for sharing those bits of information and
Mhm.
congratulations on the success. So up next is the rapid fire round, kind of handful of questions, and we'll be on our way. So highest GMV generated in a month.
I would say 125.
Okay, cool. And when was this?
December.
December. Okay, and now is your kind of first month, quote unquote, first month
Yeah,
of kind of huge success, and you hit it with 125K or
yeah.
100, plus K.
Mhm.
Were you able to buy anything cool with it?
No, I am planning on doing or like creating my own not brand, but I have an idea, and so
Cool.
all like the money that I make, I'm going to invest into that idea.
Love it. So product
That's my
launch on
long-term
TikTok
plan.
Shop.
No, it's actually like a software slash app for creators. Like I took problems that I had as a creator. And I'm like, what can I do? Like I like every single day, like I have problems, and so I want to fill those problems.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know about my Amazon business and kind of all that, but before that, I made iPhone games and apps
Oh,
on the App
cool.
Store.
Okay.
So yeah, this was when iPhone first came out, and
Mhm,
a lot of people it was kind of wild west of putting up apps and all that stuff. So like
mhm.
the Flappy Bird area. I don't know, you might be too young for
Yes,
that,
I
but
love Flappy Bird, yeah.
yeah, so like I didn't do Flappy Bird, but like, that era of
Mhm.
video. So that was a chapter in my life that, I built and sold, got millions of
Oh,
downloads, all that good stuff.
cool.
So if you
Okay,
have questions, I guess where I'm going
for
is like,
sure. Yeah.
I have software background, TikTok shop background, of course, and
Okay,
so I'd love to help you on
nice.
that journey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd love to kind of drill down a little bit more, and then maybe have you as a repeat guest to kind of promote your app to these other affiliates.
Yeah, that'd be so cool, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I love that. Like you're taking the fruits of your labor and turning it
Mhm,
into like another business and kind of
mhm,
progressing that way. So
mhm,
that kind of tugs at my heartstrings because that's what I'm all about. As well.
mhm.
What's one piece of advice you wish you had when you first started?
I feel like I mentioned it before, but truly, like, you will go through high highs and low lows,
Mhm.
and something that someone told me once was, "You can't go or you can't have the highs without the lows," and
Yeah,
that really stuck with me because it's so true, and, like, you can't always have success every single day, like, you can't look at your commission every single day and be like, "Well, it's amazing," like, that's just not how it works, and you have
Mhm.
to be ready and prepared for that because it hits hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have those moments where it's like, am I doing the right thing? And you kind of have to
Mhm,
put yourself. So yeah,
exactly.
you just kind of, like you said, you use both ends of the spectrum as motivation, right? The
Mhm,
highs, you're like, let me get back there. Lows, I don't want to be here. So kind of
mhm,
use them.
exactly.
Yeah. What's one place that you think you can improve on as a TikTok shop affiliate?
Everything. I
Yeah.
always need to improve on everything. Probably
Yeah.
the one specific, my copywriting, and it's funny because, like, I did a little copywriting before, but
Right.
I just think it needs to be better, and I need to
Yeah.
learn to do it better, and my flow of speaking, I'm starting to get into it in
Mm,
my talking head videos, but it needs to be better, and I know it can be, it just takes time, but with my copywriting, I just need to learn how to do it better, I guess.
yeah. I guess, what are some ideas? Like, do you use AI to help you with the copywriting?
Recently, actually, I was very
Yeah.
anti ChatGPT for a long time until
Yeah.
I was talking to my friends like 2 weeks ago. I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay," because I was talking to my brother, I'm like, because he does copyright, I'm like, "Will you just, like, write some for me, like,
Yeah.
please?" And he's like, "Just ask chat," and I was like, "No." And then I, like, decided to do it one day, and it actually helped just
Yeah.
spit out a couple ideas, so
Yeah,
I'm
it's all about
definitely
guidelines,
doing
right?
that.
It's not gonna
Yes,
give you you don't
exactly.
want it to give you an answer, and that's why how I use
Mhm,
AI as well. It's like giving you a road to go down, and then you can
mhm,
go down that road more or use it or not use it, but, like, give you,
mhm,
like, a jump start. That's what I love about
for
AI,
sure.
so,
Yeah.
and that's why I wanted to okay, so one thing I wanna talk to you about is, copywriting and let's say a script. So you have a script fully developed, and then how like, because I have a problem, right? I create a script, and then I have the worst time trying to read it and sound authentic.
Mhm.
What's your strategy behind that? You mentioned script a lot and copywriting a lot. How do you go from copywriting to sounding authentic on in front of a camera?
So I used to have like word by word by word, sentence by sentence, and then I kind of got more that was in the beginning when I was scared, and I feel like
Okay.
everyone should do that because unless you're a natural at talking on the camera, it's gonna be very hard.
Yeah.
Now after, like, taking time and doing it, I just literally write granola parent and then bullet point, like, sugar, apple cider vinegar, like, mushrooms, and my last one, and then
Right.
plug product, and that's it, and then everything that comes out of my mouth, who knows what I'll say, and,
Yeah.
it's more natural now, um, but yeah, so when I
Couple
sorry, you can go.
the a couple questions there. So you have those bullet points, and to me, it already seems like you already have a talking point for each of those bullet points, right? So you have an apple cider talking point. It's reserved in
Mhm.
your head. You can just recall it, and that's part. What about
Exactly.
those times where like you don't have like it's a new product with new stuff? Like, do you do a whole written out thing, or do you still follow the same like single word bullet point strategy, like with the new product with new ingredients? Let's say.
It's both. I
Okay,
try like, I will 100% have something written out word by word,
got
but
it.
then it's hard, like, the way that's worded and what I'll do is I'll write that whole script and then I'll go read it out loud. My
Yeah.
roommates are always hearing me being, like, talking out loud, and then I'll add, like, a literally or something in there, to make it sound more like me versus, like, this, or,
Yeah.
you wanna make it sound more like I'm speaking.
Right, right. Okay, cool. So, I mean, it sounds like it's a work in progress. You're
Yeah.
not getting it the first time with a script. You're gonna
Mhm.
kind of continue to do it and feel natural. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and this falls in line with your strategy as well as working with, a small number of brands, more videos per product, and you can
Mhm.
kind of get familiar and familiarize yourself with the story and,
Exactly.
sales points, etc. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's why it's like I love interviewing all different type of affiliates because there's so many different strategies, and
Mhm.
your focus is a few products and getting in depth and learning about them, and
Yes.
yeah, that's kind of what works. Okay, cool. I love it. Um, what do you look for in products that you want to promote? You mentioned this a little bit before,
Mhm.
but like any other kind of KPI or like data points that you look at in a product, or how if you use it daily, or what are them like? Is commissions a
Um,
high thing for you? What do you look for in a product?
I actually never really look at the commission rate ever, honestly, but what I
Okay.
do look at is what type of creators are promoting this, and so when
Okay.
I go to do my research, I'm looking at, like, okay, is this, like, an older, demographic, or
Yeah.
is it, like, girls, like, my age, and it doesn't matter what it is, it's just so I can help steer, and then at the end of the day, it's like, am I convinced to buy this product? And
Okay.
if I am, then I want to promote it.
Got it. I love that. So two things there. I don't even know if both of them have been mentioned here, but taking a look at who the creators are and do you vibe well with them, right? Some of them are like the doomsday creators, or some of them
Mhm.
are kind of like, obviously parent creators or older demographic. But like if you can connect with the creator that you're seeing videos for, like that's a no brainer. And
Exactly.
then also like, do you like it, right?
Mhm.
If you see yourself using it, if you're like you like what it stands for, then that's a good call for it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I love those, and thanks for adding those pieces. Last question here, but what are some future plans? I know you're a coach in the community. I know you're doing your thing with the affiliates, but what are some plans for you in the next couple months?
I would say that's a really good question. Probably taking on some more coaching or managing positions. I love doing it. I think it's so much fun. I love giving feedback. I love helping. I love giving my knowledge. Like, I want other people to succeed and do the same. And then honestly, work on my own idea, like bring that to life. I'm like still in the marketing not marketing, the outreach phase. So I'm reaching out to like a bunch of creators asking
Yeah.
if this idea is something that they're into. Just really like I want that by the end of this year to be a reality.
For sure. Yeah, I'll help you get there. You hit me up
That would
anytime.
be awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah, I love how you kind of turn that into like a different avenue, right? Not just
Mhm,
TikTok Shop affiliate, but
mhm.
other things. So cool. Yeah, that concludes it for today's episode. Isabella, thank you so much. So many gems in there that people are going to take and run with, and appreciate you for your time today. Thank you,
Of
Isabella.
course. Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, you'll find Isabella's, contact information, her handle in the show notes below. And thank you for joining us today at Affiliate Academy. You can join our free group, affiliateacademyhq.com, and we'll see you there. Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Thanks.